Hello and welcome to Back to School Night, our virtual edition of it. My name is Todd Scudder,
And I'm Amanda Coppa.
and we are the core teachers for your child, which consists of language arts and social studies. Here we are. This is moments before we started this recording, so this is what we look like right now, just so you have an idea of what we look like. A little bit about ourselves.
I went to Sac State and I got my bachelor's in family psychology, and then went to Fresno State for my multiple subject and English credential. This is my third year at Olympus and my sixth year in the district. I also spent 9 years previously in K-8 education.
And I went to Azusa Pacific University, got my special education master's at Santa Clara, and it's my fourth year at Olympus and 14th year overall. I'm teaching 10 previous before Olympus were at the high school level in San Jose. A little get to know you about us. You can see if you know who's who here. Has a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old and a 2-month-old. That would be Mr. Scudder, myself. Here are my lovely children. That's them on their first day of school on the right there. That's what they chose to wear, which is awesome.
Has a toddler, which you guessed it, it's Mrs. Coppa. And that's my little guy. His name's Austin, and he is 16 months old. Is a locker opening champion.
Well, you probably guessed me, but you're wrong. It's Mrs. Coppa. Was voted class clown in middle school. You also probably guessed me, and you were right.
Was on the yearbook committee in junior high. Mrs. Coppa. Their spouse also works at Olympus. You guessed it, it is Mrs. Coppa. Mr. Coppa is our new PE teacher this year.
Woo! Has never seen the movie Braveheart. Obviously, that's both of us.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Mm-mm.
Just doesn't really catch my attention.
Mine either. So a little bit about core. Core is 2 periods of English and history. English encompasses grammar, writing, reading comprehension, text analysis. We are studying world history this year, and it'll be regardless of whether your student is a 7th grader or an 8th grader, because our program runs a 2-year course. So last year we taught U.S. history, and this year we'll be focusing on medieval to early modern times. We'll also spend a great deal of time teaching students about growth mindset and executive functioning skills. And then this incorporates their SAI academic lab class, as well as we'll teach the basic 8 skills, which Mr. Scudder will touch on in just a moment.
So the basic 8 won't really apply while we're virtual or distance learning, but when they come back to school at some point this year, hopefully, they will be graded on these 8 skills, which are a study done by, I think it was Harvard, an Ivy League school, that these, if you could do these 8 things, that's what helped people keep a job in life. If they couldn't do one of these 8 things, it's the reason they lost their job within the first 6 months. So we kind of view it as a way to kind of teach them the appropriate life skills of working and the things that will make you a successful worker and teammate in the working world down the road.
As far as textbooks and references, your student will have access to Amplify, which is our online English curriculum. We'll also work through daily language instruction, which are just short mini lessons each week, and then we'll build upon those lessons and quiz them at the end of each week. That'll start up here in a few weeks. And then we will be using Step Up to Writing as a tool to help us with our writing curriculum and IXL to help assess and implement different writing and reading strategies. For history, we will use Holt Medieval to Early Modern Times. It's a blue textbook that your student should have picked up when we did textbook checkouts last week. We'll also utilize lots of articles, internet research, and other sources throughout the year.
In terms of language art, we do a lot of language arts. We do a lot of direct reading instruction. We really focus on teaching them how, continuing to build on the skills they already have, but discovering the main ideas. How to make inferences is a big kind of step we make at this level. What is the author trying to tell us right here? Kind of reading it in between the lines, which is a skill many of them have, but also a skill that still needs to be kind of refined and worked on quite a bit. We're going to be doing a lot of reading and a lot of writing. Just the more we can get them to write, the better, and talk about the different styles of writing. Argumentative writing is a big one. Informative, essays, narratives, research projects. We're going to be doing all that. Like I said, the more writing we can do, the more they will improve as we work on the writing process. And to use the writing process, we will use a curriculum called Step Up to Writing. Some of you may have heard of that. We used it in our class last year, and we're going to continue to build on that this year. We would also love for you to continue to encourage your child to read on a nightly basis. When they are in class, we will be doing silent reading, not every day, but a lot of days, just to get their brains kind of reading again on a consistent basis. But we'd love for you to be having them read a little bit each night. We honestly don't care what they're reading: magazine, newspaper, online article, an actual hard copy book, which may be foreign to some of them. Any of those things, we are happy to have them be reading on a nightly basis.
In history, we'll focus on the ancient world from the fall of Rome around the world and across time to the age of exploration. And we will assess them by doing challenge units, projects. We'll do some reading. We'll show some videos, and we will encourage note-taking to help students organize their thoughts and attain the curriculum.
Note-taking is one of my favorite things to teach. In terms of grading, they will receive a grade for both English and history. We use weighted grading, so some categories count more than others. Specifically, comprehension is where we really look for. Lake work, whatever lake work is, Mrs. Coppa. Hey, even we make mistakes. Lake work is accepted for 75% maximum score. And we encourage you to keep all graded assignments throughout the trimester in case there's grading discrepancies. Luckily, that's going to be quite easy to do because it will always be in their Google Classroom personal file and folder, which we're also going to help them better organize and manage their Google Drive.
Something to note is that in order to turn something in late, if a student is absent or just missed an assignment, your child needs to send Mr. Scudder and I both an email with the assignment title and the reason that it's late. So even if it was they forgot, we still need that documentation. So please encourage your children to send those emails because we don't get notified if they submit something late on Google Classroom.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah. Families can also help by being understanding but setting high expectations. We are really trying to challenge your child. The organizational routines are going to look a little different since so much of this is virtual and online. We're going to also, again, help with organizing their Google Drive. We encourage you to sign up for PowerSchool updates, emailing us when necessary. We will usually almost always get back to you within 24 hours or less. And just understanding that the productive struggle is beneficial to your child's development.
Some details that you might want to consider is that you guys can actually sign up for Google Calendar and Classroom updates. There is a feature if you log into your child's Google Classroom where you can sign up, and we will also be sending you guys invitations via your email address, so look out for those. Your students have all been instructed already to subscribe to calendars, and so they should be able to show you their Google Calendar, which has all of their Zoom or Google Meet links, as well as their homework assignments that are linked to the Google Classroom. You can sign up for weekly emails from PowerSchool, and it's a good idea to check often and to keep up on that in case Mr. Scudder or I have a clerical error when we're entering grades. And then just to note, we are taking daily attendance, so if your student happens to be absent, they have the number of days in which they were absent to make up the work that was late or missing.
That basically concludes our presentation. We didn't want to make this video terribly long because you've got other videos to watch as well. Please feel free to email us with any questions. You can also call, but if you've seen the shout out emails from the school, The office has limited hours right now, Tuesday through Thursday, 10 to 2, basically, I believe are the hours. Email is the best way to get in touch with either of us because we can usually get back to you in a much quicker and timely manner. We also would like to give you the chance to tell us a little bit more about your child. So right there is a link that you can click on, and then it'll take you to a Google form with a few questions. It's not due tonight, but if you could complete it in the next couple of days, that would be super helpful to us. And it's a chance for you to tell us a little bit about your child and some unique things that we would get to know about their home life, their working environment, all those things. So thanks again for taking the time to view this presentation, and we look forward to working with your child online and hopefully down the road in person. Thank you so much.